Thank you, Carl. Good afternoon, everybody. I've been here at PG&E since June 13th, and I've got to tell you, it's the most rewarding 5 months that I've ever had. As Carl said, I've been in this business for almost 33 years now, involved in some of the oldest gas infrastructure in the United States. I ran the Boston gas system. That system was formed in 1823, so you can imagine the issues that we had there. And I also spent the last 5 years with my colleagues in the UK, helping them with safety issues around our infrastructure in the UK as well. Lessons learned from the incident at San Bruno are profound. The first week that I was at PG&E, I went to the San Bruno location so that I could feel firsthand what it must have been like for these people to go through what they did. Some of you know, I don't share this with many, but I wanted to let you know a little bit about why I decided to take this job. Lots of people thought I was crazy, but lots of people thanked me for stepping up to the plate here and try to address some of the issues that were identified by the NTSB. But 4 years ago, my wife and I, we lost our daughter, Nicole, in a sudden accident. And I know what it's like to have somebody one day and not there the next. And my wife and I were always thinking about what we could do. You know, why did this sort of happen? And when this job opportunity came up, I can tell you that the light went on, that's why I'm here, because I've been working 32 years to learn things that I can bring to PG&E, that I can bring to the industry, to do everything we can to make sure that something like this doesn't happen again. What are my lessons learned? Well, we've talked a lot of the technical lessons learned, but I want to share with you really 4 things. First, that trust once broken is enormously difficult to regain. PG&E was an iconic name in this industry, built up over decades, destroyed in one instant. Learn is that to fix the problems in companies that occurred over long periods of time takes a massive, committed, expensive effort. So if you get yourself into a bad situation, it's very hard to work your way out. The other lesson learned is, if you think you can fix the problems at your company, you have to make sure that you're not in denial. You can't be in denial. There has to be complete understanding and acceptance at your company that you bear enormous responsibility. And you've got to be laser focused on your mission to resolve the issues, to reduce risk, to improve the safety. And finally, the last lesson learned that I'd share is, if you don't want this to happen at your company, you've got to be brutally honest with yourself. You have to ask yourself, do I have the right resources? Do I have the right skill sets? Am I investing the right amount of money? If you can make that honest assessment, and most companies here in the country are able to make that honest assessment and answer those questions in a positive way, then you can avoid something like San Bruno. But if you don't, it's a roll of the dice. Well, let me take each one at a time. So trust. As I mentioned, I knew PG&E, I think, before I came into the gas business. I mean, it was that big of a name. Most customers, we've got 4.5 million customers at PG&E. And you think about their gas company, they hardly think about them at all, right? You experience the company is usually when you move into your home and you call and you get your account set up and you get a bill every month and everything works. You hardly ever have an issue. You hardly ever have an outage. And if you do, it's usually with some piece of equipment that uses natural gas, not so much the product itself. So over time, people come to have enormous trust in our ability to do what we're empowered to do. Elected officials typically don't have issues with gas companies. Tends not to be lots of things that go on. From a regulator standpoint, you know, you look at sort of that industry trend. We've done so well for so long, right? That you feel really good about what's happening. But then that day happened. And the company was appropriately criticized, has continued to be criticized, has received very direct commentary from the California Public Utility Commission in the Independent Review Panel report, which we completely accept all of their comments and are working hard to fix those. The NTSB was remarkably clear in the 8 recommendations that what we needed to do as a company. And despite the fact that we've acknowledged all of our deficiencies and are doing lots of things to restore our system and reduce risk, it will take years to earn that trust back. I indicated that to fix the problems that happened over a long period of time, there's no magic wand that I can wave and make all those problems go away. But since I've been here, we've brought about 1,000 new people on board, focused on hydrostatically testing our San Bruno-like pipe in and around the peninsula of the San Francisco Bay Area of California, validate the MAOP of our maps and records, which the NTSB indicated were massively deficient, to install remotely controlled valves on our network so that if something does happen, we have the ability to reduce the time in which that event will occur, to help manage the network this winter because we've taken massive pressure reductions on our pipeline. We've got 5,500 miles of gas transmission network in Northern California, and about 33% of my lines have taken significant pressure reductions. And we've done things like hydro testing, MAOP validation, inline inspection, and we filed for and have received approval to increase pressures back up so that we can meet the needs of our 4.5 million customers this winter if we can demonstrate through extraordinarily detailed records verification and hydro testing of our lines that these lines are fit for purpose. What I'm happy to report is that our commitment earlier this year was to do 152 miles of hydro testing. As of 8:30, the night before last, we completed 154.5 miles of hydro testing. Successful hydro testing, I might add. We found 3 anomalies in our pipeline. Some would say the test was a failure. I say these tests were successful. We found the pipes that failed, but the tests did what they were designed to do. They found weaknesses in the system and were able to repair, retest, bring the lines back in service. Talked about you can't be in denial. Before I took this job at PG&E, the management team, the senior management team, the board of directors was abundantly clear. They hid nothing from me. There was full disclosure about the extent of the problems, but that wasn't enough for me. I had to feel in my heart that there was a commitment to resolve the problem. There's plenty of companies that acknowledge that they've had problems and sort of put a patina on it and give you a little money and bring somebody in with a strong reputation and a good name, but aren't willing to stand behind it. I got the feeling that that complete commitment was there. That commitment was reinforced when we hired our new chairman and CEO, Tony Early, who joined us 2 months ago from his job as chairman of Detroit Edison. He's an amazing industry leader, has been through some significant issues at companies in the past, and we couldn't have picked someone more capable of leading this company through this significant crisis. What I can tell you is I've hired over 100 gas engineers to be PG&Eers. I brought in over 900 professionals, engineers, operators, welders, inspectors to help us with MAOP validation and to help us with hydro testing and inline inspection of our lines. I make no bones. I've told everyone in the industry I'm out to hire your best people. I go to Houston to recruit in the middle of the summer. And I go to New Hampshire, Randy, in the northeast United States to recruit in the middle of the winter. And I bring them to beautiful, sunny California. That's my method. I don't bother, and I'm not going to bother in the spring and fall. But we have been laser focused. We've been laser focused every single day on doing the things necessary to restore the integrity of this network. And that effort will continue as far as I can see. I don't have a horizon where that's going to end. In order to do this work, this is not for the lighthearted. This is not for people who are trying to learn on the job. I'm trying to recruit the best talent in the country because this is the most amazing, professional, enriching, rewarding opportunity that exists to take this network that the California Public Utility Commission said has problems, that the NTSB said has problems, and to turn it around and to reach our goal of becoming equal to the safest company. I don't want to be so bold as to say we're going to be better than anybody, but we're not going to be second place, and we're not going to rest until that's done. I think it was just amazing for the folks from San Bruno to come here and share their story with you. I think it was commented at one of the earlier panels, it's so important to put a face, right? Because I think we're all reminded about why we're here today. Thank you very much.